Okay, this is practice test 18A. I did number 9, but I didn't record it, but if you're interested, that's how number 9 would have looked. And then here's number 10. That's the one we're going to do right now. So number 10 is graph the following periodic function and determine its period. So this front, well, if this number right here is the center line. So that means there's going to be, and that should make sense to you guys, that it's like a vertical translation. It got moved, lifted up by 1. So instead of being along the axis, let me show you a picture of regular y equals sine x. The parent function goes like this. I mean, it keeps going and going and going, but that's the parent function, y equals sine x. And its amplitude would be 1, and that's -1, and then from the beginning of the cycle to the end is 2 pi. But this one has some changes. It's been lifted up by 1, so that means I'm gonna, now that's 2 on my graph, so halfway between the x-axis and the 2, that's where 1 would be. So I'm just gonna sketch it. And so when you guys are taking your test, if you want to use this graph because it's convenient, the one that's on your test, you can, but if you don't feel comfortable using this and you want to just draw your own graph, that'd be totally okay with me too. Because these graphs are kind of weird. They're counting by 2s, and you might not be comfortable using the graph. Okay, what do the other numbers mean? What about the 8 that's in front of the sign? Well, the 8, any number that is like to the left of the sign, that's multiplying the sign, that is an amplitude change. So that means that this parent function not only got lifted up by 1, it also, its amplitude, it got way wavier. It's going to be super wavy. It's going to like go all the way up to the 8 and then turn around and come down to the -8. So I know from the center line, I'm going to actually have to go up to the 9, because I'm starting off by, I'm already up by 1, aren't I? I'm up by 1. So I'm going to just make a little note to myself so I don't forget. There's 4, 6, 8, 10. So I'm just going to kind of write a little 9 right there just to remind me when I get ready to graph. I also want to look at this 2. What is the 2? What does this change about my parent function? Well, the 2 gives me the period. So you go, the regular period of the parent function is 2 pi, and then you divide by this number. They call this number b. They call it a sine bx plus, I don't know, maybe they call it c. So I'm going to go 2 pi divided by this number, 2. So my period is actually going to be pi, and that's kind of, they asked me what the period was, so down here on the bottom I'm going to write period equals pi. So what that means for my parent function graph is that from the beginning of the cycle to the end, it's not going to be 2 pi like a parent function graph would be. It's just going to be pi. So that means my cycle, oh my goodness, it's just going to go from the origin out to pi, and it's going to be super wavy. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start to draw it now. So, the middle, this middle dot is going to be there, and the end dot is going to be there, and if that's so hard to see, maybe I'll zoom in on it after I'm done drawing it. And then so there's going to be the high point is going to be way up here at 9, and then this low point down here is going to be way down here at, that's 10, -9, where is that? Right, goodness, right there. So I'm gonna try it. Oh wait, it won't be -9. It'll be down by 8 from 1. 1. So does that make it? Does that make it 7? -7?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. That's -6, that's -7. Yeah, I thought that was going to look kind of weird too. Okay, I'm going to try to draw it now. Up, down. It's super wavy, and then Now I made a nice cycle of it that you can actually sort of see, and then the rest of the cycles I'm going to be a little bit lazier. I'm not going to be super picky. I'm just going to make them, you know, kind of fake them out, make them go. Maybe I'll just put an arrow on it so I don't have to keep drawing it forever and ever. Right? There's the arrow. I put an arrow on it. And now I'll make it get closer so you can see it a little bit better. But it should look something like that. Okay. And that's number 10.